Game number 1 of a brand new best of 3 currently underway here for the Watch This JORD Invitational. It's day number 1. We'll talk a little bit more because we didn't really touch the prize point. We just kind of jumped into what was Snoot versus Wellmu fun series. But before doing any of that, of course, in the bottom right, it's the Blue Zerg player from Team Acer. Give it up for Bly.
In the upper left, as the Green Terran, it's uThermal.
I'm not so surprised to see this. uThermal, I'll just put it out there, guys. If you don't know at this point, he hates this matchup. Apparently, he's been playing a little bit more relaxed recently, though. A bit of a quote-unquote break. Although I think a lot of the hardcore players never really go on break. They just say they do, and it's like a mental thing. But a 2-racks opening out of him. This is good because, uThermal has some of the best... pardon me. I would argue some of the best micro of foreign Terran players out there. But the problem is he also just does not love this matchup. It doesn't matter whether he's good or bad at it, he doesn't like this matchup. So to go for cheese and end it quick kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Very good early, mid, and late macro game, or micro game rather, but late macro is actually not that great. He starts to get tilted pretty hard to mutas, and then he splits on creep and it messes up. It gets a little messy, but for the early game, he looks pretty strong. And it's 2 racks, it's only going to make it look stronger. But Bly, he goes for a pull first. This is going to help a little bit. It's not actually like a hard counter or anything, because we've seen so many people mess up control no matter how early their pool was, or even how fast they scouted this. People scouted it immediately with an Overlord and still actually lose. The only way you can really successfully always end this is if you get drones out there. Which, well, Bly, there's no chance of that because Bly still has no idea it's happening. Yeah,
and I'm actually I'm waiting to see on the menu, like, is that third SCV going to get pulled? Because this is, of course, that map where you can get the triple. Like, if you fully wall this off and you've got nothing outside the base, no drones to get a secret hatchery elsewhere, no lanes to run by, I mean, this choke just becomes impossible to deal with, straight up.
First vacation of a 2-racks, I believe.
It's kind of neat. I haven't seen anyone do it this way yet with the Marine trapped in. It reminds me of Entombed Valley, way back once upon a time.
Oh my god. Yeah, I remember that. But yeah, the Overlord did see the Marine in the SCV, so it moves out of the way, make sure it doesn't die, and the Lings are going to actually go across the map to see if they can do something. At most, what they're going to do is, probably, anyway,
force repairing.
Force a repair. If the supply depot is down, there's absolutely no reason for that. You have no production in your main base. That would just be a straight-up mistake from uThermal.
This is getting interesting because, I mean, one hand, uThermal could float a barracks home and eventually just deal with this. Bly, though, went for a couple of spines, and I find this really interesting because, funny enough, we just cast Snoot. Snoot's got a somewhat similar way of dealing with this. He'll get about 3 spines in the main and try and throw a creep tumor queen, or creep tumor from a queen down in the natural. But, yeah, uThermal dancing around this in a bit of a funny manner. He sees the spine crawlers, so obviously doesn't want to let these bad boys get up, trying to do some damage, but, with that SCV going down, is one less thing repairing. The spine crawler getting dangerously low.
Yeah. You know, this is really working out quite well for Bly.
Yeah, I would say so.
Whoa.
Bit of panic back at home. Yeah.
Yeah, you only need 2 for this first supply depot, but yeah, that was quite a panic.
Yeah, problem is, too, like, if you stopped repairing because he ran out of money, actually. Not because you repaired him, he ran out of money. Oh, God.
Okay. This is kind of failing for uThermal, man. Like 2 queen. Okay, he's focused on the hatchery. That's his plan. All right, so that's even then.
Transfuse out of nowhere, though. This has failed at this point, I'd say.
Yeah, that's enough Lings. They're not gonna have speed, so maybe he tries to macro out of this. I mean, he does take a lot with him while the bunker goes down, but you know now there's no fear for Bly. He doesn't have only 1 spine crawler, he has 3 spine crawlers. No follow-up move will scare him. So he knows that uThermal's only chance is probably going to be 3 CC, and he has a variety of options if that's the case. He can do his own third base, he can just do Baneling Bust, or he can do that.
Both depots died at home, ran out of probably money or wasn't paying attention because he was microing the Marines around. Either way, Bly will take game number 1. Good defense out of Bly, too, no less.
Yeah. There's so many, we've seen a lot of 2-raxes, and I feel like most of the time they actually die to him. Yeah, it's nice seeing that they actually win.
I feel like it is like there are some players that will just, I don't know what they do differently, what the magic is. But you watch, like, say something like the Muslim 2-racks versus someone, say, I don't know, like Intense 2-racks. You know, without a doubt, which of those 2 will work, which one won't, before the game even begins, right? Sometimes they're just so good at it. But Yeah, we'll be talking a lot about our sponsor stuff today while we get into game number 2. I do want to take a moment to talk about our stuff. We've got 10 hours left on t-shirts, guys. I can't believe it. I set the goal for 50 when we first started this campaign, hoping we'd sell 50 t-shirts. That's